It is so cold. It's about 3 degrees out there. It feels like it's 2 degrees in here. Absolutely freezing. But I'm fighting the climate on two fronts today. Firstly, very exciting. I've had a new car for a couple of weeks. The app that works with it hasn't worked since I got it. Volvo have finally fixed it today. Face ID, security. And I can flash the lights and beep the horn. I am Michael Knight. When I'm going somewhere in the car, 10 minutes before I leave, I start it from my phone. It's toasty and warm when I get in it. Genius. And number two, Adv Spec. This came today. Let me explain. I wear Adv Spec race jacket and pants. Looks like this. I used to wear big bulky adventure style jackets with a built-in body armour and everything. I switched over to this year and absolutely converted to the whole idea of layers for off-road riding instead of it all being built in. In fact, like it so much that I made a video on it. The guys at Adv Spec saw the video, they contacted me and said, hey, could we send you some gear? And if you like it, make a video about it. I said, you can send me some gear, but I'll make a video whether I like it or not. So let's hope I like it. And fair play to them, they sent it anyway. So, before I dive into this, just quickly, how layering works for me. 5 layers, base layer. It needs to be lightweight, flexible, comfortable, this kind of thing. Impact protection. Main reason I got rid of my old adventure jacket was that I didn't like the armour being built into that. I now wear stuff like this from Lear. It's basically armour built into a compression suit, so it stays exactly where it's supposed to be. I want that close to my skin. Knee pads down below. 3 is warmth. We'll come back to 3. 4, abrasion resistance. So that's my jacket. 4, it's got the hardest job. It's the thing that I'm rolling around in the dirt in when I fall off. It's what I'm crawling on the floor in when I'm working on the bike. It needs to stand up to lots. And that stuff from Adv Spec does. Wind and rain protection. I spent all year using a cheap, nasty rain jacket that didn't let the air out, so I got hot inside it and it let the rain in. So it was pretty useless all round. As a result, I have spent an insane amount of money. It's heartbreaking buying Climb's Gore-Tex shell. Only just arrived. Haven't even worn it yet. Gonna do a review on this in a couple of days time, so subscribe, that's coming up. It better be bloody good, the amount it cost. Okay, so 1, base layer, 2, impact protection, 3, warmth, 4, abrasion resistance, 5, rain. Simple. So, going back to number 3, warmth. I've been lucky most of this year, whether I've been riding in the snow or the desert, I haven't needed anything between my body armour and the abrasion resistance level. So I've jumped straight from 2 to 4. Got away with no 3. I find that I get far more inconvenienced by being too hot than too cold, so I haven't worried about it. But lately, last few weeks, I've been out a couple of times and it has been so cold. Good timing, because Adv Spec sent me their thermal solution. What do they call this? This is the hybrid jacket. It retails for about £139, I think. When I saw this on their website, I skimmed straight past it. I spotted it when I was buying the race jacket and the race trousers. I skimmed past it because I wasn't quite sure what it was for. They called it a jacket. Well, how's it supposed to go underneath a jacket if it is a jacket? It looked quite big and puffy on the website. I thought if I'm wearing that and my main jacket, I'm going to look like George out of Seinfeld when he goes all Gore-Tex.
It's Gore-Tex. You know about Gore-Tex?
Hey George, can you feel us? Can you? All right.
But it's not like that at all. It's actually very lightweight. Body mapped insulation panels. So, let me describe this. It actually feels like a bit like my jogging fleece with then some additional body mapped insulation panels. in spots where, actually, to be fair to them, I would get cold, up in the shoulders, across the chest areas where the wind whistles in. It's an awful lot more lightweight than I thought. I mean, certainly it's very easy to fold up and stuff into my backpack if I didn't need it. Okay. I quite like this. This is an XL. I'm 6'6", 44 chest, and it is plenty long enough in the arms, which is often an issue for me. And it's quite close fitting. My concern with it when I saw it on their website was that it would just be this big puffy jacket that's never going to fit underneath that, but actually it's not. It's it feels good. I love this stuff. Highly recommended. Not too tight, not too loose. Feels good. So far so good. I don't feel too restricted, and importantly it is way less big and bulky than my old adventure jacket. Let's look at it properly. Okay, so the sleeves are I don't know what you'd call it, so like a stretch fabric, the sort of thing you'd get in a running jersey. It's then got body mapped insulation panels, breast pocket, hand warmer pockets apparently. Ooh, do you know what? Hand warmer pockets sounded ridiculous. Those pockets are warm. They're lined with fleece. Free valve removal tool attached inside the pocket. Decent tags on the zips, used with your gloves. Yeah, do you know what? It feels really nice. Okay, so far so good. The plan now is to ride the bike and test it at speed, cold wind blasting towards me. Wales was cold. Absolutely awesome riding, but cold. Perfect conditions for testing the jacket. I ended up wearing my base layer, my body armour, a lightweight motocross jersey, and then this and my race jacket on top. That was it. I took with me an additional thermal layer to go underneath this, and my new Climb waterproof, which I thought I'd need on top for wind protection if nothing else, even if it didn't rain. I didn't wear either of those items. I literally just rode around with this and the jacket on top. It wasn't like I was riding around toasty and warm, but I'd rather be colder than hot. I certainly never got uncomfortable. I never got close to the point of thinking I'd put on extra layers. In fact, the only time I got uncomfortable regarding temperature was on a really complicated hill climb where I had to lug the bike around physically and actually got too hot, if anything. I was really impressed. The high-speed road stuff in particular was where I thought the really cold wind would get to me, as it normally does with the jacket on its own. But these panels stop the wind coming through. Again, I can tell it's cold, I can feel the cold air blasting at me, but it's not uncomfortable at all. I was fine with it. If I was sat on the motorway at 80 miles an hour for hours on end, I probably would be putting on something else. But for trail riding, where your road sections are pretty short between each trail, and the speed isn't particularly high, it was absolutely fine. The fit was great. Plenty of room in the arms for the body armour underneath, but I never felt bulky. It felt very easy to move on the bike. It wasn't restrictive at all. The only thing that I could criticise about it, when it's zipped up around the neck, it has the same collar shape as the jacket, which means you have two of these collars on top of each other. It just felt a little bit restrictive around my neck. What I'm going to do to solve that is get some stick-on Velcro so that I can just cinch this tight around my neck and keep it out of the way, and then the jacket can sit loose on top. But I'm really looking for things to find fault, really. And the other thing that's been really interesting was that on the website, Adv Spec say that you can wear it around a campfire after your day's riding, and it becomes a bit of clothing that you use off the bike as well. And I thought, yeah, they're just understandably trying to justify the cost of the thing. But it's absolutely true. I found myself wearing this all the time. In fact, I was in the garage this morning tidying up. It was cold, so I put the jacket on. I've now been sat at the computer for a few hours doing some editing on the footage from Wales with the jacket on. Obviously I'm inside the house, it's all nice and warm. I wasn't cold in the garage and I'm not hot in the house. It really does do what it's supposed to do. been really impressed with it. I've walked the dogs in it, I've gone down the shops in it. The other day I went to put some lights up on the Christmas tree in the garden and looked for the jacket, couldn't find it. Jenna was wearing it, she got to walk the dogs in it. Would I pay £100 and whatever for it? When I first looked at it, when I first got it, I thought probably not. I thought it was nice to have, but I'm not sure it's worth that money. Actually, now I've had it for a couple of weeks and I've worn it an awful lot off the bike, I probably would. If I lost it tomorrow, I'd probably be happy to replace it at full price. It's not by any means the most expensive bit of gear I have on the bike, and yet ironically it's probably the thing that I wear more than anything else. All my other gear is specifically for riding the bike. This does have an awful lot more use than that. I cannot wait for spring, for the sun to come out, so I don't need to wear it anymore, but until then it's part of my regular gear that I'll be wearing all the time. Hope you found it useful. If you've got any questions about the gear or anything else in the video, just stick them in the comments below, and check back soon because the video from Wales will be up on YouTube within a few days.